Uh,
Hey everybody, welcome back to the Spin Rack. I'm here with my boys PD Cal. Say what's up, babies.
What's going on? Ready to rock.
Today we're talking about the hit news. Daredevil, all the other Netflix shows that were on Netflix are now coming over to Disney Plus. Whoa! We knew it was going to happen. You know, Disney's getting all their other shows and they're putting it back on. They're even getting Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D, as you can see. This is an article straight from, what was this article from, PD?
this is CNET.com.
CNET.com. So yeah, so it's a fish, man. So how do you guys feel about the fact that now they're bringing in these hardcore shows into the Disney Plus universe, into the MCU universe? You know, because now we have Daredevil showed up in we had the Kingpin showed up in the film The Hawkeye, the TV show The Hawkeye, and Daredevil, you know, he showed up too.
So you're saying Spider-Man, he showed up in Spider-Man, No Way Home, and then in Hawkeye, not the Hawkeye. Unlike the Batman, it's just Hawkeye. And but anyway, sorry. So in this thing here, yeah, I mean,
the fact that we have the Kingpin, now we can do a Devil's Reign if we bring these guys into the Disney. But that's a whole nother issue. Yes, the very fact that we got this going on. What do you guys feel about that?
I just think it's content to have on the show. I mean, I think the only thing that was holding any of these shows back, because I was surprised that they held back Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., that it basically Jeff Loeb. It wasn't a Kevin Feige stuff. It was a Loeb thing. And anything that was Loeb or connected to Ike had to be crushed. So they just held it back for as long as they could. They initially said it was only going to be Canada, so it was actually going to become the Alpha Flight, but now it's back on the 16th. It's only like 5 days away, so we're gonna get all that shows, and then I can catch up. Well, piece back together some of the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. that I haven't watched, because I've been watching some of it. I'm up to the thing where in space, and Fitz is going through it. But anyway, yeah, it's this is they just need content on there, and this is more superhero content. More superhero shows. Like, why not just put it on there?
These were hardcore shows. These were not the typical Disney Plus shows that are sort of PG-13. These are hard R, even harder, some of them. And so Disney's not.
Yeah, but that's what you. Well, at the end of the day, that's the Marvel had the right idea with saying, look, we got the Marvel movies, and then we can be a little bit more grittier. We can be more grittier, rather more gritty. It is with these shows over here on Netflix. But why throw it any other way, especially the Daredevil stuff? Because that was the best stuff working for you. So it just didn't make any sense to throw it away. I'm pretty certain they might, smooth out some of the rough edges. But because I would have said definitely Daredevil makes the jump. But if they're bringing everything over, that's pretty cool. Because then you might see some of these storylines actually improve and get or at the very least resolved better than we were left.
Yeah, true. That's true. But this also means we are probably going to get Agent Carter, possibly the Inhumans. That was done out of ABC. Possibly.
Wasn't Agent Carter already there though?
She's there already. They're already doing this Captain Carter stuff.
Captain Carter. So no, Captain Carter. Not. I'm talking about Agent Carter.
Yeah,
we're not going to get Agent Carter. We're going to get Captain Carter.
Then they have Cloak and Dagger. Will that also come over? Will Hellstrom come over from? Will the Runaways come over? So that's what some of the shows.
You'll definitely get Hellstrom come over, and Runaways. I don't know about Cloak and Dagger and Runaways. I really don't know about those other shows.
Well, those are ABC shows. So I mean, that one was Hulu, which is owned by ABC, which is owned by Disney, and I think Freeform is also owned by Disney. So technically, they could come all over there.
Yeah, they bring everything over.
Yeah, bring them all over. I wasn't.
Might as well. I mean, well, I don't know. Cloak and Dagger was just so blah. The whole first season was like, okay, these two are not working together. And they wrote the show like, okay, they're finally going to be the Cloak and Dagger from the comics that you recognize in the 4th season. Won't that be great? I was like, yeah, if you actually get there. Yeah, whack.
But hey, I mean, the very fact now that they're bringing in characters like Daredevil, Luke Cage, the Purple Man, the Punisher, I'm trying to say the Hand. It's like, come on, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.
If they do the Hand right, I'll be happy. Because what they did on the series, I was like, no, that's not the Hand. I don't know who that is. They got Stick right, okay, but the Hand, those guys look like they work at IKEA. They did not look like these were trained ninjas.
Well, the comic book, the Punisher comic book with the hand is pretty interesting, but that's something else. The only one I thought that they would not bring over, tell you the truth, was Iron Fist. You know, because that was such a was not what people expected it to be. You
It's
know,
just content. It's
no, I
not a
get
Yep.
thing. It's not a thing of trying to figure out what was good and what wasn't. It's just
No,
saying,
bring it
hey,
on.
the content on their channel.
Well,
but
I'm hoping they bring it over and we get to see some of it. You know, maybe like some of it revisited, or maybe none of it at the end of the day, with the exception of Daredevil, which was the standout series. But I'm holding out hope that eventually I'll get to see a nice Power Man and Iron Fist series. But who knows? Who knows how long I'll have to wait for that?
yeah, it could be. Never know. We'll get Daughters of the Dragon.
Well, they did.
So you never know. We may get that.
Oh,
So hey,
I think we'll see the X-Men and the mutants before we see any of that, and that's still a ways away.
hey, I didn't expect them to do Runaway. I didn't expect them to do Inhumans, and they did those, and which kind of surprised me. So right now, I think they can do whatever they want. I mean, hey, they're doing. I think right now they have scheduled, and just a Disney Plus service, the Disney Plus series. They're doing Ironheart. They're doing, the upcoming projects they have. I'm taking a look right now. They're doing Ironheart. They're doing another Loki. They're doing Moon Knight. I did not expect them to do Moon Knight. Moon Knight's coming out. They're doing Miss Marvel. They're doing She-Hulk. They're doing, um, Armor Wars.
Is this a endorsement of it or saying we're in trouble?
I was just shocked. I did not expect that. They're also doing the Agatha House of Harkness. So they're doing Marvel Zombies. Dude, didn't expect any of those.
Stop it! Stop!
I'm just telling you what's in development, what's in production. I'm looking at it right now.
No Marvel zombies, no animated zombies, none of that.
They're doing. You can say no all you want.
No,
The
no, I don't
sky's
want
still
to
blue,
see.
bro.
I don't want to see zombies taking shields and hitting against 3, 4 things, and then coming back to all this muscle memory zombie stuff.
Unless they do it the real way, like they throw the shield, and when it comes back to the arm just like gets totally ripped off because the arm doesn't have the. If they play it for laughs, I might be a little bit more invested. Maybe.
But you got to go through. By the time they get all those characters, you realize you're gonna run out of characters by the time. That's why they keep piecemeal so slow. Oh, here's Puck, and then Puck's able to bounce around. And it's like before he dies, it's like, come on, it's just they're zombies. Don't do the Zack Snyder zombies. Love and live and love.
The thing though you got to realize is that they are really, really populating the MCU. I mean, it is like when you think about it, it's just stunning the amount of characters they've introduced so far. I thought people would not be willing or interested to follow so many characters, but I don't know. We'll see. I don't know if it's going to cannibalize themselves or whatever, but it's a lot of characters coming out, and good luck to them. I mean, DC we know has a gigantic roster, and I've always thought, oh, that'll be a death knell for any type of show that they start doing all those DC characters. But with Peacemaker,
DC has a larger roster if they ever get it together.
that's what I said. They have a larger roster,
But they have a ton of TV also. We watch all of the CW stuff. They got
No, nobody cares about the CW stuff anymore.
Oh, they do.
I'm saying they have enough content to say people have been able to watch these shows because they look similar to the same. They work the same way. At least these Marvel ones, these ones are different. Some of the other ones work the same way. The Buffy stuff. There's definitely a lot of the DC stuff works the same way the Buffy stuff works. Yeah, it's with costumes and people understand that dynamic. Marvel's doing a little bit wackier TV, or rather Disney. These ones were kind of straight up kind of shows. Like these are straight up, even though some of the supers always kind of stretched thin or watered down for some of the other ones like Jessica Jones or maybe Iron Fist. But at the same time, they were like straight up shows with like full arcs type of thing where the the Marvel ones, the Disney ones have been kind of different, but that's the difference that allowed more people to come in and say, okay, this is a little different than the dynamic we see in the CW. But if all this time we've been seeing all these characters, it hasn't stopped. We can't say we sit around and like complain about sitcoms. There's going to be too many sitcoms now. Or there's going to be too many procedurals. Or even the past I guess because the history of the past is saying it was this and that many westerns, but then they just replaced the westerns with cop shows, which is almost the same thing, or just present day westerns. There's no stopping this stuff yet. Why do you wait? Why are you turning into the George Lucas and saying it's gonna end soon? It's gonna be this story bloat. It's gonna be too much of this at once. They're saying, hey, we need content. I feel as far as that, I don't go back and look at some of those other shows on there. I find myself watching the Secret Society of Second Born thing over and over, like it's like my other New Mutants show. But it's they got to put more content on there. They got to do something to. There was a whole point in counteracting Netflix by having content for people to watch, and instead of what Netflix is doing, they have other superhero shows. And maybe you'll revisit them and say, "Wow, look at the second season of Daredevil. We got Punisher, we got Elektra, we got all this. Oh, look at this Punisher thing. It's really brutal." And we could try to con the Punisher back into doing some more stuff.
Yeah. Or, hey, look at the second season of Iron Fist. This is worse than we thought. But I get hey, no argument here. You got to have the content, especially if you're competing with Netflix, because you can run through the Marvel stuff in a weekend in comparison with Netflix.
Yes.
Well, I mean, they put every single thing they have out there. They have tons of content. Netflix didn't have that much. So if you're just talking about Netflix, everything they have, that's one thing. But if you're talking about stuff that just renamed off some of the shows, it's going to be a while, including the movies. It's going to be quite a while.
Well, I'm pretty sure they want to try to stay as contemporary as possible. I mean, it's DC has a ton of stuff. You can go all the way back to Adventures of Superman or the Kirk Allen Superman serials if you want. They could probably even get the early Captain Marvel serials and put all that stuff on. But then you have a viewing populace that doesn't necessarily have the appetite to say, well, let me check out this stuff. So you probably want to stay as contemporary as possible, because most of these people think superheroes just started in 2008 anyway.
No, that's not true. People know Superman and Batman. Come on, bro. That's that.
Yeah, they think 1978 is old, as opposed to, oh, that's the first movie. Let me check it out. See how this old got started. Then they go back. I mean, seriously, most of these cats don't read the comics. Okay, and then they're brought into the theater. I mean, the stuff starts for them 2008 with Iron Man. So the idea of, oh, well, this other stuff existed. Yeah, but that was crap, because it didn't get big until 2008. So this is the good stuff, and all that other stuff doesn't matter. That's trash. No. But look at these series. You get this one for 4 seasons. Trash. This is the stuff. This is the real good stuff right here. 2008 going forward. It's all Marvel, and then we can selectively pick whatever DC movie or series we may have liked, and then we go forward. That's where these cats are right now. With some time, then maybe they'll have a little bit more of an expansive mindset. But right now, nope. So they'll probably try to stay very contemporary with it.
Well, I mean,
they did do Mudda.
Wouldn't you love to see that the original Spider-Man TV series on there? I would. There's a whole bunch of stuff they could put over there right now, and it's not there.
What content are you looking at then? What content on Disney are you going to say, you know what? I'm waking up and I want to see Embrace the Panda or Dominican Dream
or Catch the Pigeon.
Pajama. What else? I mean, I'm not going to say anything about Doogie, because I do watch that. Just Beyond. What are you watching on Disney?
Oh, the last thing I watched on Disney was Boba Fett.
There we go.
There's
Marvel, basically.
There's other stuff too. Like I'll watch High School Musical. There's a bunch of stuff to consume, but the problem is, if it was just Disney, okay, there's a bunch of stuff to consume over like 8, 9, 10 different streaming services. This is the first time in my life where people tell me something came out. I didn't know the Batman movie came out. Okay, somebody had to tell me that. Usually I know when these things come out, and I'm like, what? So I'm still playing catch up with a whole bunch of stuff. I haven't even seen an episode of Superman and Lois. And I'm a big Superman fan. I have not seen one episode yet because there's so much stuff coming down. It's hard for me to even keep the dates in. I mean, and Disney used to make me think I had more time, because they would be like, oh, Obi-Wan Kenobi coming soon. And I'm thinking, oh, okay, I got a couple of months. Like, no, they mean it's coming like next week. And I'm totally out. people tell me, oh no, it's already 3 episodes deep. And I'm like, really? I had no idea. So there's just a lot of stuff. I mean, if you like television, film, and everybody, well, who doesn't? Everybody wants to be entertained. There's just a lot of stuff. This is worse. When I used to lay off reading Walter Mosley's Easy Rawling novels and say, I'll wait till it gets like 2 or 3 novels deep and then I'll catch up on it. This is worse than that, because it's not just necessarily him, but imagine like all your favorite writers, and they're all producing books, and they're producing books at the same speed, and you can only read a book so fast, and you got to have the time to read it before you can get to the next one. It's no different with this stuff. But in terms of what they could put on there, I mean, if they own, and this is, of course, if they own the rights to it, but there's a bunch of stuff that I would love to see on the Disney site in regards to Marvel, stuff that I couldn't. I mean, when I was a kid, I couldn't see all the Spider-Man stuff because you had to be home, and there was only one channel. Yet, the TV had to be shared. So I maybe saw an episode there. So I would love to see all that stuff again, or the original Marvel cartoons. I would love to see those things, because it's so hard to find them, watch them now. And it was so piecemeal, because you had to get home by a certain time. And if you got on punishment, you couldn't watch any TV. So, you missed that episode while everybody else was talking about it the next day. So for me, there's a whole bunch of stuff that I missed out on that I would love to see now they could put on. I don't know if they're going to do that, because I think they really want to draw people in with as much contemporary content as possible. And then the older stuff, that's for a guy like me who wants to go digging back in the crates, if you will.
I'm not necessarily thinking that. I think I go back to what PD said about the content. I think they want to put this content on one area so that people can see this stuff. I mean, we have, like, what's one of the top shows on Disney Plus? It's The Simpsons. People going back and watching the old ones and really getting into it. And I think this may be the same thing, where you're going to have some people going to these shows. I don't know if they have Legion. I think they do have Legion. Some people love Legion. I can't understand why they like Legion, but some people love Legion. That's on Hulu though. But putting all these content, all this stuff together will make a huge difference with the brand. And I think that's the thing. Marvel wants to own, Disney wants to own all their stuff and control all that media. And they want to make sure that it's all placed there. And I think it's going to make a big difference. You're going to find out now. People are going to discover Cloak and Dagger. People are going to discover Luke Cage. People have to discover the Punisher. These are the shows, and it's going to cross pollinate these shows. And probably Jessica Jones. Probably because of this, there's going to be a whole jump off. Where now you have Jessica Jones coming up, even bigger, and probably she may have her own series. I think it's going to be a big difference. We already know the popularity of the Daredevil character, the guy who played Charlie, what's his name? Charlie, I forgot his name, Charlie something. And how people kept on saying, bring
Charlie
back
Cox.
Charlie Cox, bring back Daredevil, bring back Daredevil. How many Twitter campaigns people, and it worked, and it may have been the plan all along to eventually do that, but it worked, So I think that, yeah, this is a good thing. And it's gonna be it. So hey, PD, anything else to add to that? You agree? All right. So
No, no, I was just saying, as far as content, I feel like it's the family sort of stuff. They have a lot of movies, but there's a definite tone. And I think if you're really going out there I mean, they want to keep their sensibilities, and they want to snuff out Netflix. So it's two kind of different sort of things. And I think it could be different, because way Netflix kind of just goes off and gets, all that foreign content, and some of the what used to be direct to, straight to video type stuff. And that'd be different. But when you hear that the whole plan was, hey, we want to really stomp these guys out. And so then that's why I was kind of joke about, well, then I had to start pulling content from everywhere. But I think this was a step in the right direction, because it is a different tone than the TV shows that they did. So, and but yeah, that was just it, because it's kind of funny, because the stuff I wind up watching is what is it? Let's say it wasn't much out of that, because a lot of different family stuff. But at some point I'll get to some of this stuff. Or someone will recommend it, but I'm still kind of watching the DVD and obviously the Marvel shows and that. So yeah, it's just I was just talking in terms of in terms of them trying to stomp out Netflix, because I was really surprised. Like, why don't you just try to get a streaming service and to see how it goes? Like, no, we want to take all this content, because all that money's going to be ours, mine. Turning the Daffy Duck. That's it. That's my last thing.
Okay, Cal, anything else to wrap it up?
Glad to see the show's coming over. I hope they do, at least with Daredevil, I hope they do a little bit moving forward. If they can ignore some of the stuff that was done in that last season, I would like to see some more. I would like to see some more Daredevil. I'm not too sure about the rest of the stuff, but definitely, I think Daredevil is still very valuable for continuing on with the Marvel universe. So I'm glad. I mean, if you enjoyed any of the other stuff, it's pretty a good day for you that it's coming over, and hopefully they can bring some more stuff over and maybe inject some new life into it where a series like Cloak and Dagger kind of ran aground on Freeform because they never improved off that first season. And I thought there was still a lot of viability with the show, with the characters. I thought they had good casting with the actor and actress who were in the lead roles. So I'm looking, this could be definitely something to look forward to coming down the pike. So yeah, very interested, very pleased with some of the choices, with all the choices so far.
Do you have to say anything to me in particular about the Netflix Daredevil shows that you want to say to the audience and to me?
Is there anything I want to say to you and the Netflix?
About what I was saying about those Netflix shows and shows back?
Oh, good grief. You were right. I was wrong. Are you happy now?
I was just waiting for that, Well, thank you very much. You see, at least this is a gentleman who will admit to his shortcomings,
Yes, thank you. Thank you for being such a gentleman and bringing it up.
PD, please take a note of that. So if you like what you heard, comment, subscribe.
What was that?
Spinnerack
Out.
Out.